Special thanks to NSX of YouTube for providing today's music. The following podcast has been scheduled for one fall. Introducing your host. Introducing first, he is the voice of the Smart Mart Nation. Please welcome Jordan Lone Bear. Introducing his podcast partner from Spinebuster Valley. Please welcome Pounder Caker. Oh man, what is up, bro? What is going on?
What is up, brother Jordan?
I love it. I love it. You are all Hulkamania, brother. How are you doing, man?
Well, let me tell you something, brother. The Cakester is doing fantastic.
I love it. I called you the Pounder Caker, but you came in as the the Cakeomania.
Running wild, brother.
Well, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, today is a very special episode because it's Halloween, boys and girls. And we thought that we would dress up just for this momentous occasion because it's our very first one. And I'm fiddling with all my gadgets on this side, trying to get myself back to Rick. Oh, my God.
The most wonderful thing is we didn't even talk about this.
Right?
Like, we both did this separately.
Yeah, for real. We kind of just you told me, you're like, I have a surprise, and I was like, well, I got a surprise for you, which was the theme song for this week,
which, if you couldn't tell, I absolutely love.
That NXX brother, he does a lot of good stuff, and I know I used him on the Eddie show. And I haven't heard back from him for a minute, but I love his stuff. If you guys haven't checked out his stuff, go check him out on YouTube. And he's got some really great content where he takes a lot of like wrestling themes and stuff and other music and stuff like that. He makes some real 80s-esque. So,
oh, nice.
Maybe I'll do since we're Undertaker-esque. Simply because wearing this thing is hot.
Oh, yeah.
But hey man, how's your Halloween been going so far anyway?
So far so good, getting geared up as we are recording right now for the big work weekend, Halloween party, and then trick or treat with the kiddo.
Gotta love all that. Gotta love that, being part of that whole Halloween spirit. My wife and I, we live in Halloween world pretty much at this point.
Yeah, right.
Halloween lives in our home no matter what.
Oh yeah, I have what I like to call the wall of horror movies in my home. So like Halloween is going on all year round here.
I seen that you have some you've got some Halloween memorabilia there.
I have quite a bit of scary memorabilia.
Oh, I love it.
Michael Myers.
All-time favorite Halloween killer.
Yeah, but yeah, I live for this, you know. I've been a horror movie aficionado for since I was like 18. Another jack of all trades thing that I'm into. So, but no, the spooky time of year, and then before we know it, we're going to be. I don't know how much snow you guys get out there in Utah, but I'm about ready to be knee deep in it in the next month or so.
We just had snowfall not too long ago, and it was insane. I'm like, it's October, but at this point, like we get it periodically here and there. So,
Okay.
but for the most part, yeah, no, we're always swimming in snow at this junction. So,
Yeah, we're gonna I being right off Lake Michigan, we get a lot of lake effect and it is going to start coming down here. It is the we had a nice little this last past weekend was 75, and that was a nice little taste of remembrance because it's not gonna see that again for about 6 months. So
oh man, well, with today being the Halloween episode, I told you guys the last episode we were going to have something special, and sure as hell we do, because today is not only a WWA day, which is a wrestling watch along episode, we also have a top 10, top 5 list as well, because it's spooky season and we're going to give out all the treats. No tricks this time, it's all treats.
just like when I'm at work bartending for the people of Portage, Michigan, and we're handing out treats all night long.
Oh, go check them out. You're in the Michigan area. Go check them out. Go support my boy and his business he's got going there, man. But we are going to watch. It's funny because we were supposed to sort of do a live kind of episode for this, but with us having both our own lives at this point, um, we thought we would get together and we would do the first watch along. Can you believe that this watch along is 20 years old? No, is it
This
20, 25? Yeah, I think it's 20 years old.
it's 26.
26 years old. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think you sent me the date. It's October of 96. Really takes me back. We've been hitting all this 96 stuff, and like this is right knee deep in like little Kyle back in the day, because just becoming just enthralled in professional wrestling.
Yeah, no, you're reliving a lot of your childhood at this point, and I'm excited. I'm excited for you, man, because we got to come, we're going to be, of course, what we're talking about is the very first Buried Alive match, which happened at In Your House 11, October 20th, 1996, which is kind of hilarious because my wife was born in 96, October to be exact. So it's also
Uh,
the very first Buried Alive match.
yeah, I always joke that the mother of my daughter, my love for pro wrestling is just slightly older than her because she was also born in 96.
Oh, we have that in common then, huh? Oh man, but we're gonna be doing a watch along. Whenever you're ready, big man, we can we'll start that off, and we'll
Well,
go
I
from
got
there.
us. We, if you're watching on Peacock,
Ooh,
we are going to get you dialed in to.
oh, there's a Halloween party going on in the other room, I think.
All right.
Oh, guys, and if you guys haven't checked it out while Kyle's pulling that up, we've got a Facebook page that I'm always promoting. I also just recently have aligned myself with another wrestling podcast. I know, Kyle, where I feel
I
bad.
saw that, man.
Yeah.
I started checking it out before the show.
Yeah, so the podcast is called the Brew Age Outlaws, which is a beer and wrestling podcast where from two gents that are from across the pond out in Scotland, home of the great Drew McIntyre, if you will.
Heck yeah. I was catching a little bit of the episode you had just shared before we started recording.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first couple minutes I got to check out looked pretty interesting. I'll have to dive into it more tonight and tomorrow. And yeah, go check out the newest partnership with Talking Kayfabe, the
Mhm.
Brew Age Outlaws.
The Brew Age Outlaws. They don't have a theme yet, but who knows? Maybe I might be able to make one for them. I don't know. But it's been fun. It's one of those. It's where I go to get my weekly wrestling update with stuff because I'm very behind. I'm an avid wrestling fan, but when you're an avid wrestling fan with low funding, you kind of gotta sacrifice that cable stuff and all that stuff. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Donate to the show. That way I can keep up and I'll write it off as a business expense.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, it's hard to keep up when you're like you said before, when you have a life to deal with as well. So
Absolutely, man.
but if you're watching on Peacock, we're gonna get you dialed into 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 45 seconds.
I'm gonna watch
That
a little monitor here. 1 hour. What was that again?
1 hour, 20 minutes, 45 seconds.
Yep. Oh, I've got some ads.
Yeah, get through all this, but Peacock, great place for most of the old WWE stuff. I love the documentaries on there. And if you have some extra time, check out the Legends of Wrestling roundtables that are some of my favorite things to watch over and over again on Peacock.
They do really great stuff. I know that Austin's former audio podcast that he had out is sort of there. It's the Broken Skull Sessions that he has there now. I used to love. That's what got me into wrestling podcasts. Was Stone Cold's podcast, the Talk Is Jericho, and a lot of the Conrad Thompson stuff, the
Dude,
Conrad Thompson universe at this point, because the guy
Conrad is the man.
he's the podfather of pro wrestling podcasts. I said it, Conrad. We love you here at Talking Kayfabe, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
That's that. Yeah, that's your stick, not mine.
are, are you ready to go there?
Okay, we are. Let's see. I will let you know when I am ready.
Sounds good.
We're gonna start. Okay, all right. We're getting there. 1 minute 20. Let's see, 1 minute 19. I'm looking at the promo. I watched a little bit of the promo and stuff like that. Of course, the very first Buried Alive match happens between The Undertaker and Mankind that had built up over a long time. Of course. Go ahead.
Mankind debuted day after WrestleMania 12. It was really one of the first. WrestleMania 11 was kind of the first time when they made a big deal out of the Raw after WrestleMania, and they did smaller things. The debut of Mankind was the big ending of Raw that year. And it started out the gate fast, feuding with The Undertaker. Led them to a match, I believe in June at King of the Ring, where Mankind came out on top. The Boiler Room Brawl happened 2 months later in August at SummerSlam, and which led to this match. Undertaker interfered at the end of September's main event at In Your House between Shawn Michaels and Mankind when Mankind was challenging for the WWF Championship. Led to a brawl and then this unsanctioned match as Vince McMahon really hammers in at the beginning of it. Unsanctioned. They didn't want to take any responsibility for this. So
I like how that's a thing for them.
Yeah, I mean, let's make it spookier.
Oh, okay. So you said 1 minute, 20 minutes and 25 seconds?
1 hour, 20 minutes, 45 seconds.
All right. Well, I'm at 49. So if you want to kick it off and let me know when you hit 49.
I will. All right. So we're both at 1:20:49 right now. We're going to start the show in 3, 2, 1, and play. Nice long shot of the plot of land that they will be burying someone in this match. Bruce Pritchard had mentioned before on Something to Wrestle With that this was originally scheduled to be a graveyard match to take place in an actual graveyard. But they ended up moving it to the arena so the attendants could watch it.
I was gonna say, of course, we actually did get to see Undertaker's very last match was something akin to a graveyard match where they were of course we know COVID had hit and all that stuff. So we did get to actually see that iteration. Of course, the the Big Show and Big Boss Man, him jumping on the casket while they drug him down the way. oh
Right.
oh man.
But this was we had Paul Bearer turning on the Undertaker at SummerSlam, really changing up things we'd always seen, with the exception of the Undertaker's debut with Brother Love.
The
We'd
bulbous
always
pallbearer.
we had always seen Undertaker and Paul Bearer together. And when Paul Bearer turned on the Undertaker at SummerSlam, everybody was kind of questioning what was going to happen to the Undertaker. And you know, it it's it's fun to watch Paul Bearer in this time because he does little things like we'll see it in the match how he turns the urn upside down to try to
Oh,
like hex the Undertaker. And
did you see that Paul Bearer just did the Undertaker pose?
oh yeah. And then we're getting ready for
Oh,
the dead man to make his way into the arena.
boom.
Yeah, as we said, this was In Your House 11, Buried Alive, live from Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana. We had an attendance of 9,649 for this event. The In Your Houses were an interesting thing that they did in 95 and 96 to try to expand the pay-per-view market after they had the big four or big five at that time. They had added King of the Ring in 93. And instead of doing the $30 3-hour pay-per-views, WWE moved into doing on the off months 2-hour $20 pay-per-views, hoping that people would purchase it at a cheaper price for a little bit uh smaller wrestling content.
I love it. And as we were talking about this last week with Brew Age Outlaws, we were talking about how pay-per-views are sort of like how they took the traditional Sunday night pay-per-view and they've moved it now officially to Saturdays. And in that they were originally like 3 hours. You settled in for a good long 3-hour pay-per-view at that time.
Well, yeah, and I think some of that is just the change in the market. Like it's not really paper, like their revenue's not coming from the pay-per-view buys anymore. It's coming from subscription. So, Sunday was always a good one because as we're getting started
Ooh.
out quick in this match, uh Sunday was always a good one because you had people home on Sundays. Families were at home. The work week started Monday. But now with the streaming services, they can do their special events pretty much anytime they want to because they're just looking for eyes to get on it somehow.
I was gonna say you have that. My God, this is still during the era of Purple Glove. That he still had those accents on him, where he isn't the dead man of old, if you will. Or
I love seeing that old school Undertaker in the corner too, where he does the double-handed choke to the throw to the corner and really giving them the business with those punches. Nice little kick that lands Mankind into the guardrail.
oh, watch that! Oh man, holy, oh man,
It's just interesting, like, this era of, WWE was just something completely different. We'd seen the casket match, make an appearance a couple
body
times over
bag
the last
match.
few years. Yeah, body bag match, but,
Whoa, that was a
Buried
nice
Alive
drop.
match, even being like, 13 years old at this time, wondering how they were gonna pull this off, and was someone really gonna die? Was someone gonna get buried alive?
Right, right. Look at this. This is beautiful. This was the huge. Oh my God, that jump off the top rope. Of course, Taker not being a small man either. 6'10", 6'11". Oh, look at that. Man, guy does not want to be near. He's not want to be there. Beautiful chops by the Undertaker.
I think me and you were off at some for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Where are you at?
I'm
I'm at
at
one.
125.49.
So am I, but I'm on top of the. Are we on? Is Undertaker on top of the hill right now?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so maybe I'm just thrown off then.
Maybe you're just a little ahead.
Uh, there's a little hit with the shovel there.
He's recovering very well. A little. Oh, he's right next to that hole.
Yeah, I love this. The action next on top of this hill too.
Oh my
Oh, a
god.
small package down the hill.
That
Probably,
had to be fun for them though.
I don't know if we've ever seen the Undertaker attempt a small package anywhere else.
Well, look at that PlayStation as a sponsor. I forgot they used to put those there too.
Mm-hmm. Uh, the original PlayStation at that point in
Oh yeah, I
time.
know.
Making their way back to the ring. I was watching a video today in preparation for us recording. Mick Foley was telling a story about what we were talking about with the 2 hour in your houses, but because they're in arena, they had to put on a 3 hour show still to
Hmm.
keep the people there. So proceeding after what we will see through this match, directly after was another stellar match of the Godwins facing off against the New Rockers. So Mick Foley actually opened for Al Snow for on this pay-per-view because
Wow.
Al Snow was one of the New Rockers. And then Shawn Michaels went on to defend his WWF championship against Goldust in the main event of this as well. That was non-televised.
I always love that idea that there's matches that we don't get to see.
Yeah, and WWE did they put out that what after Raw Blu-ray or DVD a couple of years back to show off some of those dark matches that and things we never got to see because I'm wasn't the Taker Rooney part of like
Yeah,
after Raw
yeah.
stuff?
Of course, yeah. Of course, you can go back and find a lot of the dark matches through like the YouTube circuit and stuff like that. But another great moment in wrestling, just to see everybody, not just Booker T and everybody in the ring, like everybody came out. Even Vince McMahon did the Vince Rooney. Oh, action spilled over into the crowd now. And
Yeah,
crowd.
getting out there, Taker giving it to Mankind, really taking control to start
Oh,
off this match.
vintage Mick
Right,
Foley.
yeah, right over the guardrail, just doing everything he can.
Oh my God.
Holy, and quite honestly, what ended up being vintage Undertaker, not really at
Right.
this point, but the further we got into his career when they let him kind of do his thing a little bit more. Yeah, I remember like and the great thing about like we said going diving back into 96 is I remember thinking like who in the heck was this Mankind character because he came in the WWE and just was kind of taken off like wildfire, like got programmed right out of the gate with the Undertaker and just a way they don't do feuds anymore. Like pardon me, we're a solid 6 months into this feud at this point, and it still continues on after this.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we know later on the this feud goes this is probably if I had to argue, this was probably one of like top three of Mick Foley's rivalries. I'd argue to say if not the top, number two, a good number. Oh my God.
Got him.
Went a little old school that didn't work out there.
Yeah, we singing a little higher, as JR used to say.
Oh my God, look at
You
those
know,
bald spots.
it's hard to I can't disagree with you on that, but there's an argument that this was probably the greatest feud in Mick Foley's career, purely based on the longevity. I mean, these guys kind of dabbled in this feud a little bit back in 97 before Mankind started making his face turn in mid summer to fall of 97 and then right back into 98. I mean everybody remembers seeing the Hell in the Cell match between these two. Like nothing, I don't think anything in pro wrestling will ever outmatch what happened at the King of the Ring 98.
Of course, even today they're still trying to top that spot as best they can, but I don't think that you can. I think that
No.
that's a spot that just should never be attempted. I mean, as far as like the attempt on it, yeah, I really think it should just be left as is.
Well, and there's just things like I was at um shoot, I'm sitting right next to the chair. Hell in a Cell 2017. I said I couldn't remember what year it was. It was in Detroit, and it was Owens versus Shane. in a Hell in
I
a
was
Cell match.
watching that one. That was actually around the time that I got back into wrestling. So
And Shane came off the top of the Hell in a Cell, and it was great, but they had that stunt ready to go. Like
absolutely.
with what those guys did, nobody knew Foley was going to go get thrown off the cage the way that he did, and absolutely nobody was ready for it. And what we saw that night was about as real as it's going to get in a pro wrestling ring when it comes to really walking that line of, is this real or is this fake?
Oh, but Paul Bearer gave Mankind something. What did he give him?
Oh,
Oh,
the proverbial foreign object.
my God, he stabbed him in the head. Oh my God, he stabbed him in the head.
It's a pen, I think.
It's oh my God.
Oh gosh. Just just vintage, vintage Mankind like that. Just a little bit more of a, almost, if you combined the original Bray Wyatt with Cactus Jack, you get this Mankind character. Like, the vignettes we saw of him was this, fleeting talking about these beautiful scenes and how demented he was. And just, it really goes back to just how intelligent Mick Foley is, and really selling himself out to this character.
Nice reversal there.
Mhm. And then what can we say about Mark Calloway that hasn't already been said a million times?
I know, guys. I swear to God, they're stabbing each other with this thing. That is
Oh
not
yeah,
even
no,
a hit. But nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever be able to stab an opponent quite like the most famous stabber of all time, New Jack.
okay. I thought we were gonna go. I thought we were hitting with Sid Vicious joke there, but I feel you. I feel you.
Oh man, these are all. I love watching these older matches just because like you get to see what would later be, like signature or vintage Michael Cole, if we vintage moves and stuff to that effect. So this is entertaining. Oh my God, he's going after Paul Bearer. Look at
A time.
he's
Oh, and dude, Paul Bearer, like, so underrated when it comes to when we talk about managers over the years, because like it, not necessarily in the way like a Paul Heyman effects, but like Paul Bearer's mannerisms that, oh yeah,
yeah, my Undertaker will. Oh my God.
nice reversal from Mankind going after him.
Oh,
Oh, the urn to the back. I think Paul Bear just soiled the shorts
oh
on
my
that
God.
turnaround.
That was a hell of a chair shot. It's interesting too because to watch a lot of these older matches like that, the chair shots, like man, those things they lay into those.
Dude, you've seen the most brutal of the brutal chair shots, the Royal Rumble 99, the last man standing match between Mick Foley and The Rock.
Oh no, that was an I Quit match.
Oh, that's right, it was an I Quit match.
Yeah, I was
Forgot
actually just talking about that with my wife. We were talking about the I Quit match that just happened with Edge, and oh my God,
yeah, that's
watching
vintage Mick Foley right there.
that, yeah, absolutely. Interesting, not to derail us too much, but I mean to talk about that one a little bit, man. I loved everything about that, the last I Quit match, just because I didn't know really how that was going to play out because it's always been sort of a folky kind of thing, like a real hokey type of match. But to watch the way that they did it was, the Judgment Day coming out and sort of like it was almost like watching a gang violence kind of thing where they had ganged up on Edge and really just oh, it was beautiful. Everything about that match greatly done.
No, I completely agree. I really, how they intertwined that match, and it'll
Oh,
be interesting to see where they go in the future. Oh, Undertaker getting dumped in the grave, Mankind going for the shovel.
it's not where he
Uh,
wants to be. Oh,
and,
wow.
and now, and that was the point of this match. It wasn't pinfall or submission. It was the first person that could incapacitate your opponent enough to put them in a grave and then cover them with dirt.
I love it.
That's the point of this match. So,
Oh, nice dirt
uh,
to the eyes.
yeah, and just watching Mankind trying to give Undertaker a hip toss into the grave is quite comical. And there we go. That's how it's
Oh,
done.
the hip toss got put on, but it was not where Foley wanted it to be. Mankind, sorry.
Oh, Mrs. Foley's baby boy might be coming home tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, there's folks. There's a slobber knocker. I don't even think JR was even in the company at this point.
Oh, he was because I had started the show earlier. He was becoming that heel commentator at this point.
How?
Um, I'm pretty sure
Ooh,
we're
a nice pedigree.
very, very close to the debut of Fake Razor and Fake Diesel.
I would say, yeah, I know. I think we're very, of course, going for a pinfall.
And Earl Hebner is like, nope. I really would have loved to see Earl Hebner go for the count on that small package and roll down the hill with him. But oh, Mankind going to the nerve hold, the wear down hold. Undertaker giving him a couple shots.
Oh man. And not like the shots you'll get if you go visit Kyle at his establishment. Those are good shots.
Main Street Pub Portage. We party all the time.
Oh, moved out of the way just in time, just in the nick of time.
Oh, Paul Bear slides the chair back in to Mankind.
Oh, what's he setting up for?
Oh,
ooh,
double arm DDT.
Again, vintage Foley here.
Yeah, vintage Foley.
Oh, look at that! Look at it. He has the urn in his hands.
The way they used all the little things with Mick too, like on the lead up with the loss of his ear and him pulling out his own hair in the ring, and Undertaker gets to hold that chair. Now he's wicked shot to the back of Mankind. Nice little setup for the. Oh no, that's second best leg drop I've ever seen.
Of course, the greatest leg drop in WWE in wrestling history. Of course, the homage that you're wearing, Mr. Hulk Hogan.
That's correct, brother. Oh,
ooh,
right across the top rope.
Those ropes are unforgiving.
Still in this the red, white, and blue time for that new generation time for WWF here in '96.
It's so hard not to say WWE in this time period.
It's weird. When I refer to this, I always refer to it as WWF, but like it's weird to like say either one to me.
Oh my god,
that was wicked.
There was no. Oh wow, there's a fan dressed as the Undertaker. I love it. He tapped him on the shoulder.
Speaking of the fans, like something I've always enjoyed about watching old school pro wrestling is, and I know they did the documentary on the super fan not that long ago, but was seeing the same fans at these WWE shows all the time. Like, and just wondering how somebody could even be able to pull something like that off to be at every single pay-per-view.
It's funny because my ex-wife used to mention that a lot. She used to say, look, there's the same guy, and he was always sitting in the same area. It was always hard camera in the toward the corner where they would first walk up the steps, and she would always talk about that. Later on, I found out that some of those guys that are frequent that you can catch like that, set them for a tombstone. What's he gonna do?
Oh,
tombstone pile driver. That's it. That's all she wrote. Now he's got to get her. Now he's got to get him back up there, pointing at them. Ooh. But yeah, back to that. He was. But I found out that a lot of those guys, they're part of the ring crew. So that way, when there's not enough fans or something to that effect, they'll put them there. So that way they can sit there and watch the show. But I mean, come on, if you're a driver, whatever part of the ring crew, and you get to watch all these events, like, come on,
dude, it was interesting. Being because when I went to that Hell in a Cell, I was like second row ringside. I splurged for myself to go to my first live television event, and it was very fun seeing quite honestly the cameramen and how they interacted with the crowd, because there was a lot of interaction between the cameramen and the crowd. It was a lot of
Mandible
fun.
mandible claw here.
Well, we're going back up top to the
Ooh,
grave site. Beautiful gravestone they had made up for this, by the way. Still sits in WWF warehouse, from what
I love
I
it.
understand.
What an eerie thing to have, though.
Yeah, right.
He's got the oh,
Oh, the urn is dropped, and
what's he setting up for?
the
Choke
choke slam
slam.
straight to the grave.
Oh man. Oh, there he goes. The Undertaker doing his profession. It's funny because we were talking about the last episode about how gimmicks, you had to have a job that was your gimmick, and the fact that the Undertaker's actually doing his job that he has is sort of funny.
Well, and the funny thing is like, as hokey as the Undertaker is, like when you really think about it, like you can put him up there with that Doink the Clown esque and all this stuff, but like WWF at the time really went to another level of trying to make him supernatural, or really try to, and that's it. The Undertaker actually wins the buried alive match, covers up Mick Foley. But folks, if you think that's it, you are so wrong.
That is not all
Uh,
she wrote.
but like it's very hokey how
Oh
they,
man.
those, the funeral parlor interview segments they did in those early 90s and whatnot. But he, like, what really sold it and what made it something else was the fact that Mark Calloway like completely submitted to this character. Oh, and they were
Oh,
debuting Executioner, a shovel to the back of the Undertaker's head. Executioner was former Freebird Terry Gordy,
wow.
making a debut in WWE at this point. Um,
Having to dig him out with his bare hands.
yeah, so going back to that interview with Mick Foley I was talking about earlier about this match, um, I guess Mick Foley said this part he was 100% not acting at this point. He was terrified when he was down there, um, getting covered in dirt, and they had like a little oxygen mask, and Foley had barely any dirt on him. He said he was just taking rips off that oxygen mask, just taking care of himself.
Can you imagine that? I mean, that's just a scary notion, either just to be buried alive. Of
Well,
course, Bruce Pritchard is oh, look at the lights. They're gone. What's
well, and
happening? Something
uh,
happening.
there's also um there was a reason why now for every single buried alive match there is a backhoe
Mm-hmm.
sitting next to it, because
Of this reason. Yeah, yeah.
how do you how do you take all that dirt and move it in less than 5 minutes?
I
You
love
know
the
how,
added effect though, like the lights are going in and out, so that way it sort of adds more mysticism to it. They're burying the Undertaker. Oh wow.
yep. And well, and then you get the we should be getting the cavalry coming in to help here pretty quickly, um, because they started realizing that they were
It's gonna
not going to
take
get the
them.
dirt in there quick enough. So now you have guys like Gold Dust coming out. Like every B heel is out there right now. Justin Hawk Bradshaw, Triple H. We got Crush out there right now. Like,
um Quick side note here, being native from this tribe, that's actually it's funny because that's actually a tradition that we have, that we bury our own. So I know how long of a process that is.
oh,
uh,
I believe it.
Holy hell, wow. This is that beautiful gravestone, like you said, you made mention of it. They showed a glow, like a really glamorous shot back.
Right when we opened the show, they had a beautiful shot of that gravestone. And uh it's just so right now we're currently seeing the current head of creative helping to bury the Undertaker. Uh, who
Oh,
knew Triple H would go from terrorizing to blue blood from Connecticut to pointing at his penis to head of WWE creative.
Oh man, terrorizing Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, and now the boss at this point.
Yeah.
And this is taking a while. Even everybody out there, this is still taking a
Oh, it's
while.
terrible because and that was the whole point of like Mick said, because there was still 2 matches to go after this. Like they were trying to fill in the rest of the television time, but at the same point in time, like
Oh,
they have to get this done so they can go out there and
there's debris being
oh,
thrown.
that's why I started watching this back a couple times this week when they started throwing the trash. Like you see cans getting thrown out there. Another thing, Mick Foley said that him and I think it was either Gold Dust or maybe Justin Hunk Bradshaw like looked up and saw this father consoling his child as this is going on, and like the father saying, like, I can't believe that they buried someone alive.
Well, I mean, think about that though. Like that's just to this, on at this day and age, wrestling was, of course, you're wearing the quintessential 80s. 80s was Hulkamania at that point. So everything was was real. That was back when the F word was used heavily, still is today. But it was like, no, this is real. This is you got invested in it. It's funny because I used that term one day when I got into a fight with my old man, and I was like, wrestling's fake, and he made the best quote about wrestling whenever somebody tells you this wrestling is fake. He said, I don't watch it because I don't watch it because it's real. He goes, I watch it because it's entertaining. I love watching the drama behind it. And he said, and that really stuck with me because he goes, you think all movies are real? And I was like, no.
It's
And yeah,
it's the argument I make to everybody, be like, oh, this stuff's so fake. And I'm like, it's just as fake as any other TV show.
right.
Like just as real as anything else out there on television generally. Like, it's a male soap opera. It's combining like the drama and everything we love about reality TV and all this stuff and comedy and all these different aspects and putting it to sport.
It's almost like what would happen if you took the whole MMA concept and real life sports. Of course, we all know there's real drama in real sports and stuff, but that's one of those like, what do we do? How can we make it more entertaining? Of course, they had the UFC TV show, way back in the day, that was like this whole idea of like, oh, they could be feuds. And it's funny because if you watch back like today, guys like Conor McGregor, like Floyd, that these guys like they'll go on talk shows and they'll talk smack. They'll make promos to use term lingo, the business lingo. They're making promos, and that's what I loved about it.
Yeah, that's that is what sells. Like, people, Conor McGregor did a great job of staying undefeated and trying to be the best while he can. But like, people wanting to tune in to see him get his ass kicked is what sold and what made him the money that he's making. He knew how
Right.
to sell himself, whether some people can do it being the good guy, i.e., like a guy like Tim Tebow, and some people just love doing it being the bad guy, like Deion Sanders, if you will. Ain't nothing different than what Deion did in the NFL than what people do in pro wrestling.
Hey, yo, the bad guy. Looks like they're finished. They're finished burying the Undertaker. Oh my god! Look like Foley just
I thought Paul was going down hard, coming down that hill.
Foley just rolled off that. Oh man, and that's all she wrote, guys. Man, the Undertaker's gone. Is We're never going to see him again. I can't believe that they managed to do. Oh, look at the Paul's dumping the ashes, the urn upside down, if you will. That's
Oh,
oh,
lightning strike inside the arena.
that has to mean something. What does it mean, Kyle? What does it mean?
Oh my goodness. He's
Oh,
alive. He's alive. The Undertaker's alive.
I love that.
I had to take from Vince McMahon on that one.
The hand from the grave. The Undertaker lives.
We go out with the copyright Titan Sports Production.
Oh,
And that's it, folks. There you go. The very first buried alive match.
26 years ago. Tell me you don't feel old now.
Bro. I my daughter asked me what my number was gonna be on my next birthday, and I told her, and she looked at me confused, and I asked her if she could count to that, and she said no.
Well, this year I make the last year, let's see, I think I have less than a month left of my 20s, and then that is the end of my 20s. So next month I turn the big 30. My wife says that we're going to have we're going to have a funeral for my 20s. So
But this is comical because in about 7-8 months I exit my 30s and enter my 40s.
wow.
And my significant other also said that we will be throwing me a funeral. So
For your 30s.
well, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, like, getting ready to, as they say, I'll be over the hill in June. So
God, that's the downward slide. There's only one way. There's only one way after you've been up so high. And
yeah.
that Oh man. Well, let's move on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. You guys have been amazing for keeping up with us. Again, like you said, we're going to be doing the trick or treat. This is all treat today because we love you guys so much here at Talking Kayfabe, and I figured that we'd move right along into the next, and the best part of this was well, I don't know. I think the WWE part was my favorite, just watching that whole match itself. But we're going to be moving into the second half of this episode. Of course, I'm talking about a top 10 list.
It's another top 10 list with Jordan and Pound Cake. Yeah.
I like how you get pound cake and I'm still just Jordan. That's cool. Whatever.
Hey man, that's it. I came up with that nickname almost 20 years ago, and somehow it's followed me around, my man.
Hey, I love it and listeners love it. So, but of course, top 10 list. We actually decided that we were going to make it Halloween themed this year, this episode, this week, whatever. And we spun the raw roulette wheel, the roulette wheel, if you will. And it landed on. I failed it. I kind of rigged this up a little bit, Kyle. I hope you're not too disappointed in me, but I decided to rig it just a little bit and add a Halloween subject into this whole thing. These are all Halloween themed, and we landed on today's episode, which was outside of the WWE match, was favorite costumes to dress as from pro wrestling. Of course, brother, you're wearing yours, man.
You know it, brother. Yeah. Greatest thing is the Hulkamania costume is fairly easy.
Very.
Like, it I have a wig that goes with this as well as the beard. I'm kind of rolling with that NWO-esque Hogan with the all natural black right now.
Well, okay, so
But
he actually rode like that when he came back to WWE in 2002. The whole he still had the whole grizzly dark hair, but he also had the platinum mustache. So it works. It's Hulkamania still rules.
that's right. And The one thing I did miss that I did not put on, 'cause they were flying everywhere, was the boas. I have the boas, but there were feathers everywhere, so
You got to show them what you showed me earlier. The entire Hulkamania. You're not just wearing the shirt, brother. You're not wearing that. You also have. Oh my god! I don't know if it'll show. Oh, he has them. He has the tights, ladies and gentlemen.
yes, I've got the tie-dye Hulk Hogan tights, one of the
I
best
love
purchases
it.
I made for this ensemble.
Who'd have thought you would
Uh,
have used it for this reason, though?
exactly.
Oh man, I think that the only year that I've ever gone as a pro wrestler, nobody got it. I had long hair back at this time, but I well, I went to a costume contest at a local bar, and I did not have a costume to save my life. Fortunately for me, since I had long hair and my son was into wrestling as well, he had one of those little cane, the brand new cane, or the newest cane mask laying in his toy box, and so I just threw on a red shirt, a black, black tights and everything, and I went as Kane.
Yeah, that's, anything with a mask is like generally works pretty well. And one year I didn't have anything. I had a younger sister and she wanted to go trick or treating. I was probably 13 or 14. So I cut up a white button up shirt, put on a tie loosely, and wrapped a belt around my face and went as Mankind.
I think and you can go as Mankind for every which way that you want to. There is a lot of, I mean, of course, there's the Foley, the Mick Foley version, which is the black shirt and the plaid ripped button up shirt, black pants, white tennis shoes. There's that version. There's the Have a Nice Day version, which is the black tights, the white shoes, and the what was it, the button up shirt.
Yep. And then the Dude Love. If you can get a Dude Love or a Cactus Jack t-shirt, you could always do those ones
Oh.
too. Have mercy.
I actually, it was funny because I design all these logos, and I actually have a Dude Love inspired logo. If you probably can't see it right now, but I'll actually put it right here, and you
That
can see it.
that is dope. I am all about the tie-dye. I am definitely a hippie at heart, sir. So
I also have, it's funny because one another costume that I loved to do was anything ECW. I love that whole ECW. EC, yes, I love that whole era. But I mean, of course, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu. I mean, the Dudley Boys of
of these,
ECW. They
yeah.
were tie dye.
Mhm. Uh yeah, I mean those were especially the Dudley Boys, like because like the one great thing about the Dudley Boys was because of their stature in those ECW days that larger gentlemen like myself could get away dressing up like them and it would look great.
I love
Uh
it.
one thing, when I started thinking about this list and we started thinking about like, okay, Halloween costumes, I one thing that I kept going back to were guys that use face paint. The Stings,
Ooh.
the Demolitions, the Road Warriors, the Ultimate Warrior. I'm pretty sure I dressed as Ultimate Warrior before. I know I've dressed as Sting before. Um, I did dress as Jericho one year. There you go, Gold Dust. Jericho's not really a face paint guy, but I did dress for Jericho one year in high school for
Ooh.
Spirit Week.
Which Jericho though at that
Uh,
time? This would have
uh,
been.
it was Monday Night Jericho when he was WCW. So I had
Oh.
silver plastic pants. Oh no, actually I had black
Leather.
pleather
You
pants on,
got
a Chris Jericho t-shirt, and a very, very shiny shirt and blonde wig with the
with the hair tied up. Oh,
oh
I
yeah, the
love
hair
it.
tied up on top.
Of course, Jericho's always had some amazing outfits. Yeah, of course, the light up jacket. You had, of course, it was one of my favorite re-debuts or returns was, if you go back and watch, he's one of my top five debuts in WWE anyway, which was Chris Jericho, the whole Millennia Clock and stuff like that. But then he, fast forward a few, like a decade or so, he re-debuts, he returns. And it's funny because like I didn't realize too much back then, but if you go back, he's wearing sort of an updated version of what he was wearing then. He's wearing the black, the black jeans that have the chain down. He's wearing his vest that look, honestly, God, it looks just like the jacket, but it's a vest version of it. So I love that return of Jericho. So and I've always tried to like conduct myself Jericho-esque, which was why Talking Kayfabe is the greatest podcast that you have never, ever, ever heard. So, and of course, I love Jericho to death. So,
No, absolutely. You
died on that
know,
one.
some other ones, I know I had a buddy that dressed as Ric Flair a couple years ago. We actually did pro wrestling themed Halloween party at my work a couple years ago.
Oh man.
Uh, so we had a Ric Flair, I was the Hulk Hogan. We had a Roddy Piper. Uh, we had a Macho Man Randy Savage, another one.
Mhm. Ooh, yeah.
Uh, you know, really, if you I've seen cosplay Nikki Bella before. A girl in this area where I'm from does it very well. Ran into her a couple times.
Wow.
Um, there's if you like have enough want to, you can be any pro wrestler you want.
I think so,
Figure it
but
out.
I say let's start our list. Let's start off with some of the greatest ones that we have. And what do you think of number 10? What we'll go from number 10 being the least, number one, of course, the number one wrestler to dress as for Halloween.
So I like thinking about this number 10, I would probably say something like, I don't know, maybe Doink the Clown.
Oh,
You
I
know,
okay, yeah.
something that was easy for anyone to pull off. Not many people are gonna understand it. They're just gonna think you're a clown. But
You're not Pennywise. He has red hair, not green hair.
yeah, the whole laughing and then serious face, like, oh, you're supposed to be a scary clown. Cool.
I love that Doink the Clown. Let's see, number 9. Let's add on to that list. You know what? I know it's a really hard stretch to try to make, but I think that this is hard because you could go as any stable as well. But I think if you're gonna pick out of the two of the biggest ones that you could choose from, for me, would either be DX or NWO. But if I had to choose, I think the DX would probably be the most easiest one to do. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do have you get the right guys to do the horseman, you get those $600 suits on and you go rolling through and doing a lot of woos and drinking a lot of kamikazes. But I agree, DX, good one, especially if you have a lady that you put on there as China as well. And
Ooh,
yeah,
I think I just
uh
figured out my Halloween costume.
there you go. Number 8, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one on here because WWE made it very easy to dress this way for Halloween, and that is the Fiend.
Oh,
Selling, I would move it up if it wasn't just so easy for us to get Fiend masks.
right, right. I think that to make this list a little bit more fun is the fact that you kind of have to go out of your way to make yourself into these characters, or at least for people to know. Of course, a really interesting costume, because you would have to know who in the hell you're dressing as, because anybody can slap a mask on like that and be like, "Who are you?" It's like, "Oh, I'm the Fiend." It's like, who?
Yeah. I mean, people would just be like, people that don't know pro wrestling would be like, okay, sounds good, and just do right
demonic
away.
demonic looking clown thing, apparently, I guess.
Right.
Okay, so let's see, number 7, I would throw on there because I love seeing a lot of like scarier versions of wrestlers. So I would say Papa Shango If It's a deep
Ooh.
cut one. That's a deep cut for you guys, but I think Papa Shango would probably be a good one to add on to that list of people you could go as. People won't, you might have to explain it a little bit more, but I mean, Papa Shango, come on.
Yep. I feel you on that one. I'm going to lean in and give us a double dose here at 6 because they were originally a tag team, separated, went to separate federations, but used pretty much the same face paint. And that is Sting slash Ultimate Warrior.
Oh man. I think you're talking about oh my god, I know this. They were
Uh,
like the
the Master Blasters.
yeah. Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good pull. That is a really good pull.
It's like I said, like anything that you could do with face paint when it came to Halloween, especially like, you know, not saying that I grew up not my parents not having money. My parents were fine, but like you needed to do something quick and just like get it rolling. You throw on a Sting or Ultimate Warrior t-shirt, paint your face up, you were good to go.
Absolutely. I agree with that one. Number 5, I think probably like if set to add into that whole, like if you're gonna throw something quick on, I mean, you could even do this. You could even take a piece of cardboard and make this one. Of course, I'm talking about the Big Red Machine himself, Kane. All you'd have to do is just sort of like make one and paint it black and red. The classic Kane mask. I mean, that has to be one of the easiest ones to do.
Oh, I completely agree. Diehard wrestling fans will know who you were actually. And now that with the longevity of Kane, I think you get a few random people that know exactly what you're going for.
Right.
Um, yeah, but that's a great one. Uh, so I I was gonna hold this out, but I'm
Ooh.
gonna say it now. It it's a very specific The Rock with the turtleneck sweater, gold chain, fanny pack.
Oh man, that's a great one. That is
Kevin
a
Hart
great
Kevin Hart did a recreation of it. It was spectacular. I had a buddy do a recreation of it last year. Just wonderful, underrated, and most people know who you are when you pull that one off.
do that. Do the eyebrow. You got to do the eyebrow thing.
But
I think no, okay, so I'll see that one, and I'll answer your Rock, and I'll answer it with one of his most famous rivals. Of course, this one only works with the male, or you know what, you can even buy a bald cap for this one, but I'm gonna go with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Minus
I
a little
don't disagree.
goatee, yeah.
Right, I don't disagree at all. You put on a black Austin 316 t-shirt, a pair of jean shorts,
Tight
and
jean shorts though. They can't just be any jean shorts.
nope, and drink Steve Weisers. There you go. You're the life of the party.
Have you okay, so have you actually had the El Segundo the bro
I
IPAs?
I have not. I have seen it around town before, but that kind of made its appearance here in my neck of the woods after I quit drinking. So
Mm,
if we ever got it on draft at the bar I work at, I'd give it a little sample just to try it out. I was a big fan of IPAs back in my day, but no, I have not had the privilege of trying that one.
that was always on my bucket list to have a Steve Weiser, if you
Right.
will.
Well, Jordan, number two. I don't know if I can pick anybody else. Like
Or actually,
universe.
is it number 3?
Oh, you were number three. I
Oh,
had I had evens, you had odds.
oh, okay, all right, cool. So
So number two, I can't pick anybody else. I came today ready to rock and roll. The most universally known professional wrestler on the face of the planet, the one, the only Hulk Hogan.
what you gonna do, brother?
I mean, dude, they literally I bought this whole get up minus the pants. The pants I bought separately on Amazon. It came with red and yellow sweatbands, glasses, bandana, shirt, and the boas.
The boas. Oh, I need to get me a pair of those boas. I just love the boas period because if you have boas, you can easily take those boas, especially white boas, throw yourself on a bathrobe and bedazzle the hell out of that. You can be a Flair. I'm gonna say a Flair because it's not just a Ric Flair thing anymore. So it's a Flair thing.
Yeah.
The great
Oh,
Charlotte Flair.
yeah, I agree. I love they even sell the the flare robe now. You can find it. I last time I saw it was a couple of years ago at FYE uh at our mall, but like for about 50 bucks you can get they had flare robes and they had Macho Man Randy Savage capes.
Ah, I love it. Bum 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 bum. I have struggled so much with like who would be probably number one, but you know what? Since it is Halloween and we're looking at everything, come on, how do you not make number one the guy that inspired all of this behind us? Of course, I'm talking about The Undertaker, the most the most Halloween inspired for me, The Undertaker himself. Of course, our logo today is was made up in the Undertaker style and stuff like that. But that's my pick. My pick is number one is the Undertaker.
I don't see I can go wrong with that. You know, little white paint and make a little trip down the Goodwill. Maybe you find yourself a black trench coat, a little hat, and there you go. You're ready to rock.
I love it. I love the list. But you know what, guys? If you guys think that we missed something, let us know in the comments, man. Let us know because I know we've missed. I know we've missed an entire chunk. And if you don't
Oh,
agree with our number one,
yeah, I can think of stuff right now. Yeah, like tell us what we did wrong down there, guys. Like,
because we're just kind of we're calling this in the ring if for those of you that know terminology here, but I mean, yeah, like there's so many people that we could have that we left off the list. I mean, of course, another big Halloween one would have been the boogeyman.
the boogeyman, nails.
Whoa, that's a deep cut one.
Yeah, you know, one that could have been very easy for us to bring up, the demon.
The demon Finn Balor. Of
Mhm.
course, something that I wanted to do before a while back, I wanted to do a sort of how do we book this kind of style, a fantasy booking, if you will, the fiend versus the demon. But I mean, who knows? Maybe one day, one day you and I will do something to that effect. If you guys want to listen to something like that, let us know, guys, because we're always open to suggestion. We're always wanting to give you guys what you guys want to hear. But oh, it's been a blast. And I know I've got Halloween people, trick or treaters coming in and out. And I know my wife's probably tired of taking care of them.
Right.
But brother, man, it has been fun. And what big stuff do you got going on over in your neck of the woods before we get out of here, man?
Same old, same old. Closing down Main Street Pub 4 days a week in Portage, and family life, my man. Just taking care of the kid and taking life one step at a time is all you can do.
Day by day, as they say, right?
Mhm.
So where can people keep up to date with some of the with all your big stuff, all the stuff that you got going on right now?
All my stuff I got going on, well, where you can keep up with me is on Facebook at Spinebuster Sports. Follow us. And the only thing right now, podcast wise, that we're doing consistently is sitting right here with you, my man, doing talking kayfabe, talking about my quintessential love of professional wrestling.
Mm. Because we all know Kyle loves pro wrestling.
Anybody that knows me does.
Oh man. Well, if you guys want to hear more of this stuff, man, just keep tuning in, guys. Keep sharing because man, we love talking about pro wrestling. This gives us an outlet right now. And but if you guys want to hear more, come check us out on Facebook at Talking Kayfabe at facebook.com. We're also on YouTube, Google Play, Spotify. We're trying to get onto more platforms, but this is where you guys find all the kayfabe action right here. You can sit down with me and Pound Cake here, Podside, for Monday Night Pod. I forgot to say that at the top of the hour, but we come out every Monday around 3 or 4 in the afternoon because, of course, why not come to Monday Night Pod and listen to your favorite podcasters podcast about pro wrestling? It's a lot of peace.
Couldn't say it any better myself, my man.
Well, what do you say, my friend? What do you say we'll hook the leg and get out of here today so we can get on? All of you guys, make sure you guys are checking your Halloween candy for all the ones that have little ones out there. And for those that are out partying tonight, make sure that you get home safe, guys. But it's been fun, and I hope you guys all have a happy, scary, spooky Halloween. So with that being said, man, let's wrap the leg and go home.
Let's get out of here. Everyone be safe.
Talking Kayfabe is a Lone Bear production, with all editing done by me, Jordan Lone Bear. Music provided by...
Oh, God! That's only Kenny!
Once again, special shout out to NSX of YouTube for providing today's music.
Rest in